Where on earth have I been? Guys, it's been nearly 10 days since I've uploaded on YouTube, which is honestly sacrilege. So I'm gonna come on here and we're gonna have a nice little chatty video with Dee, because Dee is officially pregnant and expecting in 2026. She's like, that's my only cameo. Mum, we're done now. You have to pay more if you want me in the rest of the video. So you'll know if you follow me on Instagram that I did announce a couple of weeks ago that we have got the all clear with Dee and she is a preggy girl. I specifically waited a little bit to say, because as you guys know, if you follow the channel for a while, I have been caught short once before by announcing a pregnancy and then we ended up losing the embryo. Yeah, you guys know the story, bit of a nightmare. So I wanted to get to a little bit more of a safer spot with Dee before we get into the nitty gritty, because this video is going to be announcing the baby daddy, which is like a little bit topical at this moment. So just a little recap. Dee obviously had gorgeous Valley last year, who is just pure perfection, isn't he? He's your darling little boy, and his daddy was Britannia's male. And then she had a year of not being put in foal while she was raising Valley and doing mum stuff. And then we tried to get her back in foal this year. So she didn't take the first time, but she was successful the second time, which is brilliant news. And she's had her first initial scan, she had the heartbeat scan, she had the 60-day scan. And the 60-day scan is where you can sometimes actually gender the foals. So I don't know what to talk about first. Do I talk about baby daddy or do I talk about potential gender? Let's go with baby daddy because it is quite relevant at the minute. Obviously, we have just had Burghley horse trials and Dee's husband is related to none other than the winner and history maker, Ros Cantor's Lordship's Gruffalo. I say history maker because he has now won badminton twice and won Burghley twice, and he is the only horse in history to ever do that, which is so exciting. Also, he is related to Siamese lovely horse Buster, who did his first ever 5-star at Burghley and went double clear, which was amazing. And he's just like the pluckiest, coolest little horse. He made it look easy. So I did draw a little family tree in my head so I could actually get the relation right. Dee, come on in for this. Come on, this is big news. Dee's husband of 2025 is future gravitas. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So let me explain how they are related to those mega horses. Basically, there's this amazing horse called Gruffenstolz. I think it's Gruffen. I don't know if you pronounce the Z. Gruffenstolz. I think it's Gruffenstolz. Help me in the comments. And he is the dad of Lordship's Gruffalo, Walter, and also the dad of Autograph, which is Buster, and also the dad of future Gravitas. So when I did it all on my little family tree, what I basically think is that Dee's baby will be the half nephew of Walter and Buster. So essentially, I think we're just gonna call Walter Uncle Walter because that is the best thing ever, being able to say that they will be related to literally a horse making history in the eventing world, but also related to Buster. So we did do quite a lot of research on stallions. We wanted to make sure that we kept like quite a lot of blood because obviously Dee is full Connemara. So we wanted to dilute that a little bit and just get a little bit more blood, a little bit more speed, a little bit bigger. So that's what we've done with Future Gravitas. He is such a lovely, smart stallion. One of the reasons we chose him is because he was actually based at Stallion AI, which isn't too far from us. And we had the most lovely day of going over, meeting all of their stallions. So we got to meet him in the flesh. He was just this really kind, lovely, genuine boy. And he's also got a reputation of breeding quite level-headed foals. So what we're hoping for is that we'll get a nice, level-headed, talented foal that has the coolest uncles in the world. So he's 16.2, he is bay, Valley's actually like looking to be quite big. I'd say that Future Gravitas is slightly bigger than Britannia's male, so that's exciting. So hopefully we'll get like, I don't know, maybe 16 hands would be amazing. It would be lush to have a 16-hand foalie. But yeah, he's a really, really nice, sweet, well put together stallion that has amazing event breeding. In fact, even on his dam side, I think somewhere down his dam's line, he's actually got Classic Moe related to him, which is my favourite, probably my favourite, yeah, I don't know, I'm tempted to say even my favourite event horse. Definitely my favourite mare that I've seen out eventing. She used to be ridden by Janelle Price and was just like the pluckiest, coolest, speediest, smartest little event horse. Used to absolutely adore watching her. So yeah, amazing that she's also in the heritage somewhere. But essentially we just have the coolest eventing lines going into this little foal, which is very, very exciting. I feel like I need to give you a little bit of a bump update. I'm so embarrassed by how yellow she is, but she's actually like, she's starting to get her winter coat a little bit, and if you guys know Dee Dee, you'll know that bathing her would be extremely upsetting. So yeah, this is how the bump is looking. Now, what's a bit crazy is that we had the 60-day scan. It was a few weeks ago now. In fact, it was like 58 days because our lovely vet Hattie's actually gone off to Australia. We really wanted her to do her last scan because she was the one that got her foal and has done it all this whole way. So we wanted to have our last scan done with her. So yeah, it was 2 days early, but Hattie said at that time it would have been the size of a grape. So I'm not entirely sure why the belly is that big, Dee Dee. Potentially because we finally have some grass coming through, maybe. She's like, oh yes, it might be, some of it might be fat. So, speaking of scans, that does get me on to the gender side of things. Now, as I said, guys, it was firstly 2 days early, which isn't ideal for scans because they change so much at this like premature stage. So every day counts in terms of being able to see stuff. Now, I'm going to preface this. We do not have an exact answer. Dee's getting angry. She's like, God, you're rage baiting. I'm not. We do have I think Hattie said 60-40 idea of what we're hopefully expecting. But basically, like, it's kind of down to luck as to what position the fetus is in, as to whether you can have a bit of an idea as to tell if it's going to be a little girl or a little boy. So annoyingly, Dee Dee's wasn't in the best position and it was ever so slightly premature. However, Hattie is hedging her bets that it's gonna be a little girl, which I'm trying not to get too excited about because I would just be so over the moon if we had a girl from Dee Dee. Obviously, Dee is so special to us. She's just been a mega mare for me this whole time, and something about having a girl kind of gives me that feeling of keeping her line going a little bit more, because we certainly are not keeping Valley entire because he is he's feeling himself at the minute. So Valley is definitely going to have the balls off, and we've just not got the facilities to keep a stallion anyway. So yeah, we think there is an ever so slight better chance of it being a girl than a boy, but seriously take that with a pinch of salt, guys. It's so hard to be able to gender them at the best of times, and this one was in a bit of a funny position and a bit early, so it's probably more like 50-50 realistically, which adjusts the odds, isn't it? But Hattie did say 60-40 towards it being a girl, which, do you know what, Dee Dee? I'll take those odds. But yeah, that is the little update of how it's going with Deedles and Future Baby. It's all very exciting, and it was just even more amazing watching Buster and watching Walter at Burghley in the flesh. And I know like the relation is tenuous, but it feels amazing to have these really prolific eventing lines, and actually dressage lines. They've got some really good dressage breeding in there as well. So I'm hoping that will give Dee Dee a little bit more movement, a bit more pizzazz, because that was the one thing you sort of lacked in your eventing career, wasn't it, darling? We had to work really hard on your dressage to get the marks, because you don't have the flashiest movement in the world. She's like, Mum, why'd you say that? But yeah, it's just, I feel like he's a really brilliant stallion and should complement Dee Dee very nicely, and it'll be so interesting to see the difference between like Valley and future baby. So yeah, that is the update. So what I need from you guys at this point is help on how to say Gruffenstol. I think people say Gruffenstol rather than Gruffenstolz. Gruffenstol sounds cooler, doesn't it? And we do need to start thinking potentially about little baby names, because Walter is obviously Lordship's Gruffalo, but he's spelled like Gruffalo, G-R-A, and Buster is Autograph, again, G-R-A. So I think we want to try and get a like G-R-A in the name somehow, but in an ideal world have it somewhat Lord of the Rings related, which I think might be quite hard. Graph. Trying to think of what other Mind you, it doesn't even have to be a real word. We can have fun with it. We can make words up. Like Gruffalo isn't a word, and autograph isn't technically a word. Well, I guess they're just misspells. We need to misspell a word. I've finally got it. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas on potential future baby names. I do think we probably need to think of some girl and some boy names, because we're not 100% sure, are we, darling? But it's very, very exciting, and the main thing is that darling Dee Dee is very happy, and all of the scans were looking really, really good. Everything is exactly how it should be, where it should be. And come June 2026, we are gonna have our very own little super duper foalie in the barn that's related to some pretty cool horses. Right guys, that is all from me, but I promise there is not going to be a massive YouTube hiatus. I have been filming loads of stuff, just not loads of stuff that I can quite post at the minute, but there will be loads more cool stuff coming your way. So I live, laugh, love you, and I'll see you very soon. Dee's always right on cue, isn't she? She's like, bye. Bye guys.